Jhanvi from SRM first year CSE G section and a technical team member of the GDSC. GDSC or Google Developer Students Club is a platform for students to interact with each other and provide innovative solutions to real world problems. It is a university based community group for students interested in Google developer technologies. By joining DSC, students grow their knowledge in a peer to peer learning environment and build solutions for local businesses and their community. With this, I would like to welcome you all to today's event. Today, I'll be talking about the basic tools in Photoshop and also two photo editing techniques that you can use to make your pictures look really cool. So, the first question that comes in mind before we start is, what is Photoshop? It's basically a graphic designing tool that most of the people use to make edits on photos, and it's a pretty common and famous software. And that's exactly what we'll be using today to do some photo editing. If you have any doubts, please share it in the Sunday workshop chat so that you can be given a chance to speak. So let's start by going through the steps of downloading Photoshop. I'll just be sharing my screen now. So can anyone confirm if the screen is visible?
Yeah, Jhanvi, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so as shared in the chat, there's a drive link, and when you open the drive link, this is how it looks. So over here, there is a Google Doc which consists of some important links, and in this, I have shared the link to download the Photoshop. So when you click on this, it will open like this. So that we'll be using today. And here is just an overview about the Photoshop and some features that you can read through. And once you scroll down, you can see that there is a button available here to download it. So just click on this and you'll be redirected to another tab. And in approx 10 seconds, you'll be able to download it. And you can click here. And once you start downloading, it will appear in your downloads folder. So after downloading, it will appear in your Windows Explorer downloads folder. You can just open that. And you'll see that it's a zip file actually, and the zip file will look like this. So you have to unzip the file. So to unzip the file, just right click on it and click on extract files. And once you click on that, it will take approximately 2 minutes to extract it. And once you do that, a folder like this will appear. So just open the folder and click on this. There is another thing that's called setup over here. So this is what will help you set up Photoshop in your PC or laptop. So just click on this and say yes. It will just take a few minutes. Yeah, and this window will appear. So just click on continue and the installation process will start automatically. So since I've already downloaded Photoshop, I will not be doing the installation process. So once you're done, you will be able to see that the Adobe Photoshop has been downloaded. So in order to search for it, just go here to your start and click on and then type Adobe Photoshop, and you'll see that this will appear. So this is the 2020 version of the Adobe Photoshop that is available. So yes, so these are the steps to download Photoshop. Does anybody have any doubts or want me to repeat any step? Please let me know. Okay. So let's start with working on the software now. So once you open Photoshop, this is how it will look. This is the overall layout of the software. So you can see that there are a lot of options available. Don't worry, I'll be explaining all the important options that we'll be using. Okay, so the first thing that we will go through is all these basic tools that are available over here, right? So So the first thing when you work on Photoshop is you need a canvas, right? Every designer needs a canvas, right, to make their designs or work on their art. So this is what we will be doing in the software too. So just click on this file option over here, and you'll see that there is new option here. Just click on that, and you'll see another window will open where you'll be able to enter the width and the height of the canvas and also the resolution. It's best to keep the resolution 300, and you can choose your width and height according to your convenience. And also change the settings to pixels. I think the default settings it's in actually centimeters, so you just change it to pixels. And because most of the editing works on pixels, so it's better to keep it that way. And when you click on OK, you'll see a canvas has appeared. This canvas will be in white color and it will be of the same width and height you have entered in pixels earlier. So once you create a canvas, you see that a new layer has been created, which you can see over here. This layer is actually locked because this is the main background where you'll be working. Now, if suppose you want to open another picture in this canvas, so just click on Files and click on Open option over here. And in the drive link that I've shared some graphic resources that I'll be using today. So amongst the graphic resources, there'll be a folder called Others. Just click on that and you can open this picture. So this picture actually opens in another tab, as you can see over here, with the name of the file that I had saved. So in order to move this picture to this particular tab, because this is the canvas where we're working on, just click on this, and now this is where we'll start using the tools in Photoshop. So the first tool that you can see over here is the Move tool. So the Move tool is basically used to move all these pictures and all the layers that you can see over here. So just click on this and yes, we have to first convert it to a normal layer, because as you could see before it was locked. I'll just show. You can see that before it was actually locked. That means you can't really move it, and this is what is the final background, and you won't be able to move it. So in order to move it, you have to convert it to a normal layer. In order to do that, one simple step is just to click on this lock button over here, and it gets unlocked and it automatically gets converted into a normal layer. So once it gets converted to a normal layer, just use the Move tool, click on the model or the picture that you have, and you'll be able to move it in any direction that you want. But we want to move it to a canvas over here. So what you can do is just click on this and move it towards the tab where your canvas is present, and move it here. See, that image that was present here in this tab is now present in this canvas over here. As you can see that the picture is not exactly according to the size of the canvas. So in order to resize the image, what you can do is just select it. You will be able to see the corners, but right now since the canvas is this size, so just click on the edit menu over here and click on this option called transform. Once you click on this, you will be able to see that there are a lot of options available in this drop-down menu. Click on scale. Once you click on scale, you can see these borders that are there, and you can change the size of the picture according to your wish. So we'll just do this, and using the move tool, move it over here. Yep, and that's done. So in this way, you'll be able to move the picture according to your convenience. Yes, that's how it's done. Now the next tool that we have over here is called the rectangular marquee tool. The rectangular marquee tool is basically used to make selections in a particular shape that's rectangle, and there are a lot of other shapes also available. When you click on this particular option and just press the just right click on it, you see there is a menu that appears. So according to this particular menu, you will be able to make selections according to the shape that you want. For example, rectangular, elliptical, the single row marquee tool, the single column marquee tool. So you can use it according to your wish. So once I do this, you see that the cursor shape has been changed. So if you do this, you are now making a particular selection of this shape. Over here you can see. So once you make a selection, you see there's a border line created in black and white. So in this way, you are notified that you have made a selection. Now another next tool that we'll be going through is this one. This is called the quick selection tool. So it's similar as the rectangular selection tool, but only the difference between the rectangular selection tool and the quick selection tool is that you can make selections in any shape you want using the quick selection tool. So I'll just undo the rectangular selection. In order to undo it, just click on the edit menu and click on undo. Or you can use your keyboard shortcut, that is Control plus Z. That also can be used to undo. Now, if you see, I'll click on the quick selection tool over here, and I'll be able to select this model in particular. So you see, now this model has been selected. See the difference between the rectangle tool and the quick selection tool. The rectangular tool, as you remember, it was in a particular shape that was square or rectangle. But once I use the quick selection tool, I'm able to make a selection in a particular way that I want. Okay, now I'll just undo this quick selection tool. The next tool that we'll be going through is the crop tool. The crop tool, I'm sure you all must be familiar with. It's same as the crop tool that you've seen. You can crop it in any way you want. And also one more thing about Photoshop is if you extend the canvas size, while cropping, if you want to extend the canvas size, you can even do that as well. Once you do this, you see that the canvas size is automatically extended according to the crop that you make. This probably is not available in most other softwares, but yeah, you can see this here. So I'll just crop it back to this position. And yes, you can crop it in any way you want. This way or from below, any way you wish. So yeah, the next tool that is over here is the frame tool. Now this frame tool is pretty interesting. Now, if suppose you don't want this part of the photo, you want to move it slightly down, just click on it and move it. 1 second. Yeah. So once you click on this, you can see that the photo is moving within the frame limits, right? The canvas size was, that was the canvas. You can see that is the background that's white in color. And this is the particular frame that I had created. So you see that the photo is now moving within that frame itself. You can move it this way, any way you wish. All right. The next tool that you see here is the eyedropper tool. This eyedropper tool is basically used to make a color selection. So this tool will be really helpful while I'll be explaining the text tool. Alright, so I'll just create another canvas of a bigger size. So in order to create another canvas, just click on File, click on New, and you can see I'll just increase the canvas size so that it becomes easier. I'll take the width as 960 and the height as 0, 0. Yeah, now you can see another the new canvas has been created now. So I'll just move this picture. As you remember, in order to move the picture, we have to use the move tool that is present here. So click on the move tool, select the picture, move it towards the tab over here, and automatically it gets changed. You don't have to do anything or click on anything else or press any other keyboard key. Just do this and drop it over here. You see, this was the background, the canvas, and now this is the layer. Yeah, so once you're moving, you can see these pink lines over here, right? So these pink lines are basically used to make adjustments of the particular text or the photo in in specific manner. So for example, you see when I'm moving it over here, the pink lines are not visible. But once I bring the photo to the middle, you see that the pink line appears. That means it is right in the halfway over there. Now if I want to move it towards the center, here. Now another pink line appears. This means that the photo is in exact center right now. So these pink lines are really helpful as they guide you to to place your text or photos in a particular way. According and the equal spacing also comes. All right. So the next tool that I was going to explain is the eyedropper tool. So this eyedropper tool best can be explained with the text tool. So as you know, text tool is basically used for including any kind of text in your canvas. So once you click on the text tool, the cursor changes to this shape, as you can see on the screen, and just click over here, and this is a preset tool. This is a preset text that appears. You can change the text according to your wish. For example, I will just type this is text. Now, if suppose you want to change the font of this text, just select the text, and you can see there's an option available over here. So using this option, you can change the text font, and you can see there are a lot of fonts available over here. Also, if suppose you're not satisfied with any of these fonts, you can even download any font from Google, and you can include it in this Photoshop as well. So I'll select any font. For example, this Anton font is actually not available in Photoshop. So what you can do is you can download it from Google, and then you can, you can use it just include it in Photoshop, and then you can automatically use it. So this is the Anton font. There are a lot of other fonts as well. I'll just go with this font for now. Now, suppose you want to change the size of this text. You see that there are two T's over here available, and next to that there is this numerical value present. So using this, you can change the size of the text. So once you click on the drop down arrow, you can see a list of values that are available. In this way, you can change the size of the text. But if suppose you don't want to change it according to these particular values, you can also use this. So once you hover your mouse over this two T's that are over there, your mouse cursor becomes like this. Now just left click, and you can see once you drag your mouse towards the right, the text size becomes bigger. But when you move it towards the left, the text size becomes smaller. In this way, you can change your text size according to your wish, according to your need. Now, the other thing that's there is if suppose you want to make the edges of the text in a particular way. So there are some options over here like sharp, crisp, strong, smooth. So you can use any of these options in order to change the edges of the text. So right now, let's keep it smooth. Now, the other thing that you can do with this text is you can change the alignments of the text that are over here. This is left, this is center, and this is right alignment. Now once you click on the move tool, you see that the text color is currently black color. If you want to change the color of the text, just move to text tool, select the text, sorry. Yeah, just select this particular text over here, and you can see that there is this option available here. Just click on that, and you see that a color picker appears. In this way, you can change the color of the text in any way you want. If suppose you want it in a particular hexadecimal value, that also you can enter it over here. So this hexadecimal value changes as and when you change the color. It changes automatically. Now, this eyedropper tool comes in handy when you want to pick a color from image, for example. Now, so for example, I want to make this text in a particular color, for example, the color of a hair. So just click on this, and this changes to the particular color where I had clicked. Now, suppose I click it over here, you see it becomes dark brown because this part of the hair is dark, whereas this part of the hair is light. So it picks that particular color and changes it according to that. Or if you want it according to a skin color, you can even do that as well. So this eyedropper tool comes in handy this way. For now, I'll just delete this text layer. So the next tool that we'll be going through is the spot healing brush tool. So for example, there are some places in the photo that you really don't want, or you want to edit it, you don't want it to be there in your photo. So for that, just click on the spot healing tool over here, and you can change the size of it. Right now it's 69. Just click on this and you'll be able to change the size of it. So over here, I'll just keep it this. Yeah. Alright, so once you do this, the size of the spot healing tool changes. Now in order to make very small edits, you can't do it in this particular size, right? You need to zoom in a little. So in order to zoom in, you see this magnifying glass symbol over here. Just click on this. This is the zoom tool. And you can see there are two options, plus and minus. So the plus is basically used to zoom in. So once you do this, in this way, you'll be able to zoom in the picture. You can scroll up and down and also left and right. This way. Now we'll be using the spot healing tool that's over here. You can see that there are some strands of hair that's hanging over here. Now, if suppose you don't want that in your picture, what you can do is you can use your spot healing tool and you can remove these strands of hair. Now, this one, the size is actually pretty big once you zoom in, so you can move small, make it a little more small, and do this. You see that particular strand of hair is now disappeared. This is what the spot healing tool does. So just do this. And you can make these edits according to your convenience. And this is basically used by those designers who are very particular of the minute details that are present. For example, these small strands of hair, suppose I don't want that, you can use that. So the next tool that we'll be using is the brush tool that is over here. So I'll just zoom out of the picture. You can see the zoom tool that is over here. Click on this and you'll be able to zoom out of the picture this way. See the brush tool that is over here. This brush tool is almost similar to one that you see in MS Paint. You can use it in any way you wish to draw. And I'll just edit this. Now this brush tool, you can change the size and the hardness of this tool. So you can see that the size is particularly 32 pixels. You can change it to any way you want. In this way, you see that the circle size increases, and in this way, the brush tool size also increases. Right now, you see that the hardness is 0%. You can increase the hardness also. So in order to show the difference between the hardness, I'll just make one. You see that this is with the hardness 0%. But when I increase the hardness to say 50%, you see the spot becomes like this. And when I increase the hardness to 100%, It comes like one big spot like this. So these are the different hardness levels that you can see in your brush tool. The actual use of this brush tool can be seen while I'll be doing the photo editing techniques. I'll just undo these. In order to undo, you can either use Ctrl plus Z on your keyboard, or in the edit menu, click on undo brush tool. All right. The next tool that you can see here is the erase tool. So once you click on this erase tool appears. Now this is basically, again, a similar tool that you can see in MS Paint. You click and it gets erased. Now this is how the erase tool looks like. Now if you want, you can change the size of it and also the hardness. I'll just undo these. Yeah. So once you right click on this, you see a menu appears and there is another option, that is the magic erase tool. So what does this magic erase tool do? You see, once you click on the background, it automatically disappears. Now this tool actually uses AI, and the AI is not exactly efficient for all pictures. In this particular picture, you could see that the background and the subject of the picture were very much in contrast to each other. The background was very light and easily distinguishable. But in many of the pictures, there might be backgrounds, there's a gradient, or there's a mix of colors, a lot of colors present. In that way, it might not be easily able to distinguish the background and the subject of the picture. So in this particular picture, we were lucky that the background and the subject of the picture both were different. So it was able to easily remove the background. So the next tool that you can see over here is the gradient tool. So what does this gradient tool do? Once you click on the gradient tool, you see that this appears. So once you choose the gradient tool, the cursor also changes. So here you see there are a lot of options available, and here in basics, this, and there are blues, and there are pinks and purples and reds. So these are all the gradient options that are available. You can use these gradient as a background. And if suppose you're not satisfied with any particular, the color, so just right click on it and click on import gradients. Oh, I'm sorry, one second. You click on, so I'll just show that part again. So once you right click, you can see a new gradient preset. You see that this particular gradient editor will appear. So you just click, you can see those options that were there over here. You can see that over here as well. So again, from these, you can pick up any gradients you like. And there are a lot of options. And suppose you're not happy with any of these preset gradients, what you can do is you can change particular. So you see this small box that is over here. Just click on this. You see again the color picker will appear. In this way, you can change the color of the gradient as well. You can change it to dark purple, light purple, anything according to your wish. You can even change this way also. I'll just pick one color for now. Here. And this one also you can change. You can just click on it, and this way it gets changed. Okay. Now also you can even change the fading point of this gradient. For example, you don't want it exactly in midway. You want the fading point to start somewhere towards the left or towards the right. You can even change that as well. I'll just keep it over here for now, and then just click on OK. You can see the cursor has changed. So you do this, and you can make the gradients go like this. Right now you see that the layer was on top of the background. That's why this the particular photo has disappeared. Now this was just to show the gradient tool. So what you can do is you can either do it from left to right, from right to left, or any way you want, diagonal, any way you wish. So the gradient tool changes that way. I'll just undo the gradient tool. Yeah, so that was the gradient tool. We'll be using the gradient tool even while we'll be editing the photos. The next tool that you can see over here is the blur tool. Now suppose you want to blur the background or some particular part of the scene. Yeah. Now if once you click on it, you can see that the particular part has started to become a little blur. Right? See that the eyes have now become blur because that I used the tool on that. This is the blur tool. The next tool that we'll be going through is the pen tool. Once you see this pen tool over here. Once you click on this, there are a lot of options that come again. So the pen tool is basically like freehand drawing. Right? So when you use the pen tool, you can just draw in any way you want. You can create shapes, and it's a closed figure. You can create it like this. Now, suppose you want to change it, change the color of the field, you can choose it over here. Again, the eyedropper tool appears. You can change it in any way you want. You can even change the stroke color. You can even change the size of the stroke according to your wish. Now, pen tool is actually used by people who want to draw on a particular drawings. For example, here we have included a picture, right, of an image. Now, in this way, you can even include one of your drawings, and on top of that, you can use the pen tool in order to create that drawing over here digitally. I'll just undo this. Right now, I'm not using any of the shortcut keys so that you can see each of the steps that I'm going through. All right. So the another tool that you can see over here within the pen tool is the curvature pen tool. Now, this curvature pen tool is also comes in very handy when you want to draw curves. Now, when you draw a straight line and you want a curve to come in between, just click on this, and you see you can change the curvature of it in this way. Now, suppose you don't want any fill to come, just click on this option over here and there'll be no fill. One more cool thing that you can do with this is that once you click the text tool, you see that the text tool, one over here the text tool looks like this, but once you bring it close to the curve that you had drawn, it changes like this. Now, when you use the curve tool on this, you see that the particular text has now come in that curve manner. This is also a really nice way to present your text. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is pretty much the basics of the tools that are there in Photoshop. Now let's move on to the actual editing of the photos. So till now, does anybody have any doubts regarding any of the tools? Please let me know.
Yeah,
Can
Jhanvi.
any of the members come up?
Yeah, some had their doubts, so
Yeah, yeah. Please
I'm reading
share.
it for them. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So Foxtrot asked, "You talk about including a text font in Photoshop. How do you do it?" He's asking how do you add a text font?
How do you add a text font? So, like I said, you have to download it from Google. Like for example, I'll show over here. So in the downloads folder, once you download it, I have a few preset text fonts. Yeah. So in this folder, I have some fonts that I had downloaded from Google. So suppose you import a file that has these fonts, right? So it will show that this particular font is not available on Photoshop. You have to download them, and it will automatically get included. Like once you have downloaded, and it finds this file over here. Like you have, again, this is a zip file. You have to extract it, and this. So this is the type of the font, true type font file. This is the particular extension also. So once you do this, and once the Photoshop finds this extension file, it will include it in your Photoshop. So I hope the doubt is cleared.
Okay, then Sarah asked how to bring photo on canvas.
How to bring? Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just repeat that step. I know some. It takes a little while to get hang of it. So I'll just delete this particular layer and the shape. Yeah. You see, this is a plain canvas right now. See, this is a plain canvas, and in this particular place is where the picture I had. Just click on the move tool over here and select the layer. Okay, just left click, and you see that you will be able to move the picture, right? Now just move it towards the tab where it is there, and you see that automatically the tab gets changed. Now just drag it slowly down towards your canvas, and that's how you'll be able to include the photo in your canvas. Now you can use any photo that you want. This is not particularly compulsory that you have to use this photo. Again, you can click on file, click on open, and you can browse through any of the pictures that you have on your PC or laptop. Yeah, I hope that that's cleared as well.
Yeah, dude, done thing for now.
That's all. That's all, right?
Yeah, dude, we can go ahead now.
Okay, now is the part where we'll be starting the actual photo editing, and for that I'll be opening another canvas. I'll just
Jhanvi, sorry, like
yes, yes.
some Foxtrot again asked, like, can you show a demo of Eyedropper too?
Eyedropper tool, sure, sure, sure. So, like I told, this eyedropper tool mostly, if you use just the eyedropper tool, obviously you won't be able to use anything. Like this way, if you click right, you can't do anything with the eyedropper tool. You have to use the eyedropper tool with any other tool. I had showed that with the text tool over here. So just click on the text tool, click over here, and this is a demo text tool that will appear. Right now it's white, so I'll just change it to black so it's visible. Let's shift it over here. Yeah. So you see that this is the text. Now suppose I want to change the text of this color over here. So a color of a hair or a color of a skin or color of a dress. So you can use the eyedropper tool here. Just click on it. I'm sorry, one second. You have to use the text tool itself. Just select this text over here. You see that this black color is there. Just click on that, and this color picker appears, right? Using this color picker, you can change the color. So once you click on this and the color picker appears, you see that the cursor has now changed to the eyedropper tool. You see, right? So this eyedropper tool is basically used to pick a color from the picture, a particular thing, right? So over here you see, like I had done before, this part of the hair is light, so that's why this particular color has appeared. The hexadecimal code also changes automatically, so you don't have to do anything. Just bring your eyedropper tool near that place and just click on it. It will automatically change. Like see, suppose this part of the hair was dark, so that's why the text will become dark. And so this part of the picture is the skin's color. The skin color is light, so that's why the text color also changes light. This part of the dress, so it changes red. So this way you can use the eyedropper tool. If you use the eyedropper tool alone, it won't work. You have to use it with any other tool like that. So best example I had showed is with the text tool. So any other doubts? I hope, I guess, if any other doubts are there, please let me know at the end of the workshop. I think we'll just continue. Hope that's fine.
Yeah, dude, you can continue.
Okay, cool, great, okay. So let's start with the editing. Sorry, one second. I'll just close these canvases. Yeah. Now again, let's start from the beginning. Now here is where we'll start with the photo editing. Just click on File, click on New, and let's create a new canvas. I'll just stick with this width and height for now. You can change it according to your convenience. Right now, I'll just stick with this and click on OK. So new canvas has appeared. So the first editing that we'll see is the silhouette effect. Has anyone heard about the silhouette effect? Can any of the members confirm?
No, dude.
Okay, so basically, I'm sure you all must have seen it. Probably you didn't know the technical name for it. The silhouette effect is actually where the background is visible, but the subject of the background appears black in color. I will show some examples so that it is clear. You see this particular picture? That this is the background and this is the subject of the picture, and it's completely black. So this particular kind of editing, photo editing, is called a silhouette effect. And this is what we'll be doing on Photoshop today. So let's go back to Photoshop, click on File and click on Open. So in this, I have also shared in the drive link, I've also shared the folder which is called Silhouette Effect. We'll just click on this and you see a lot of pictures. So let's start with the background first. Click on Sky and this particular picture appears. Again, just use the Move tool that's over here. Don't forget to change it to normal layer. You see that there's a lock present over here. Just click on that and convert it to normal layer. If you don't convert it, again, that pop-up window will come and it will say convert it to normal layer first. So just use this, move it towards the tab, towards your canvas, and place it here. You see that the picture is now really big. So in order to edit it, just select it, click on edit, click on transform, click on scale. I have to zoom out a bit. I think the picture is too big. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. That now the edges have appeared. So that means the picture was a little too big for this canvas. So no problem. We can always edit it. So once you start editing, you see that slowly you can see the picture coming inside the canvas. Let's move it here. Yes. Now let's zoom back in. Yes. Now you can place the particular, so this is the background of a picture and you can place it any way you like. All right. I'll just scale it back a little. Yeah. All right. So I think, yeah, this looks good. Okay. Just click the move tool and click anywhere else. You will be able to see that the selection part has now disappeared. All right. So here I'll just leave a little gap. I'll say why I'm leaving some gap. All right. For now, let's keep it this way. Now again, click on File, click on Open, and you can see this picture called Rock. Click on that. Alright, so this is the particular part of the picture that we'll be using as the base, and that's why I had left some space at the bottom. So just use the quick selection tool that is over here that I had explained earlier. If suppose you forget what any of these tools does, don't worry. You can always hover your mouse over it and you can see a small preview of the tool. So just click on the quick selection tool and select it. And we want only the rocks, so that's why I'm doing this selection. All right. So once you're done selecting, you see this option over here, like this, which says add. So this is basically used for adding a mask. Now I'll show what it does actually. So once you click on this option over here, add mask, you see that this particular rock picture has now been separated from that background what was there. Now you say that there is only rocks that is there, and this is what we need. Again, use your move tool over here and move this towards your canvas over here. I'm sorry. It will take, because I think the picture is again a bit too big. That's why you can't exactly see it. Let's put it somewhere here. Yeah, now you can see that this particular rock layer has now appeared at the base of the picture. Again, you can scale it according to your wish. You can place it like this. Now I think this looks good enough. Yeah. So this is basically the layer, the base layer of our picture, the rocks. Now the next thing that we'll be doing is what will be creating the silhouette effect. And this step is very important. So just select this layer. As you can see, this layer is present here. And also one more thing that you can do is, suppose there are too many layers you're working with and you're not able to remember which layer is which, and you can't remember it by the name layer 1, layer 2. Just click on this and you see a text box appears and you can change the name of the layer. So let's name this sky. This way you can change any layer in any way you want, the name of the layer you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the silhouette effect like I showed before. So just click on that layer of rock and you see that there's an option available here. You see the circle which is divided in half. Just click on that and you see that there are a lot of options available here. So just click on the option called levels. Once you click on that, you see this particular box appears with says properties. In this, we are going to change the levels of the photo. So one more thing that you have to keep in mind is that do not forget to clip this to the layer below. Now, for example, if I do not clip this layer to the clip-on option that is there, you see, the particular level change that I do, you see, now you see it's slowly turning black in color, right? Now I had showed that the subject of the picture alone is black and the background remains the same. And this is not what we want, right? So what you do is just click on this option, this clip on layer option over here. And now you'll see that the level change that you do will only happen for that particular layer you have selected. You see? You see the difference, right? So once you change it, you can just change it towards the black and you see that the complete layer is turned black. So we're slowly achieving the silhouette effect, but we're not there yet. All right. So the next thing that we'll do is we'll include some people in our photo. Let's click on open and click on subject over here. See, another tab will appear. Now again, I want to select only the two people that are present in this picture. So use the quick selection tool and make a selection. Now you see that the selection does not happen quite accurately, right? You see, if I do it roughly like this, you see some parts of sand get selected, some parts of the background get selected, the sky and the sand over here. Now that's not what we want, right? So you just see this option called select and mask. Just click on that. All right. You see that now you are able to see distinguishedly that your selection and the particular thing that was not selected by you. Now you see this view option here. From here, you can change the particular selection view that you want. You can change it black and white. You change it this. I suggest overlay because it helps me see the particular background as well and helps me make clear selections. So just do this. All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to make these selections proper. All right. So let's zoom in a little. You see this part of the sky, we don't want it, right? We want only the hand to come. So select this tool over here, the Refine Edge Brush tool. You see, you can change the size of it again, the hardness, the spacing, anything you wish. I'll just keep it 13 so that I can see the particular selection that I'm making, because if it's too big, then again the selection won't come properly. Now there are two options over here, plus and minus. So once you do plus, you see slowly the selection is turning black. The selection is turning pink in color. That means that this part of the picture is now getting slowly deselected. by deselect, I mean that particular part was selected, right? Now it's getting deselected. Now we'll see the change once we create the layer back again. So this is the refine edge brush tool. You can also use a quick selection brush tool and click on this and here. Now plus means the part that we want, like the part of the picture comes that we want. Now this is not what we want, right? So click on minus, and again this is what will happen. And I will show the difference between the previous selection and this selection, that what we do. Right. Now this part has now been deselected. Now in order to see the difference, just click on OK over here. You see, now the selection, you see before the selection even included some part of the sky, right? Now the selection does not include the sky, it only includes the hand. Now this process is a little tedious, it will take a lot of time. So in order to save some time, what I have done is just click on open. I've shared a PSD file over here which says subject. Just open that. You see I've already made the proper selection of the two people. So this particular thing that I've shown over here takes a lot of practice. You have to, explore a little. You have to get used to the plus and minus, which part you're selecting, which part you're not selecting. So it takes a little practice and might take some while as well. So to save some time for now, I've just already made the proper selection of the two subject. Now just click on the move tool over here and move the subject of the picture towards the canvas and place it here. Now again, this is too big, obviously. So we're going to click on Edit, click on Transform, click on Scale, and change the size of it. So let's make it as if they're standing on these rocks over here. Alright, now again, the same thing we have to do that we did with the rocky base over here. You have to change the level of it so it looks black in color. So in order to do that, again, just select this option that is over here, click on Levels, and drag your mouse towards the black side. Again, yeah, see if you do this, the change will come on the complete picture. So don't forget to click on the clip-on layer that is over here. Click on that and do this. Now you see, now we're slowly achieving the silhouette effect, right? The subject of the picture is black and the background is like this. Now let's make the background a little more interesting. So what we can do is click on new, click on open. You see there's a picture of stars that I've shared. Open that. Now since there are too many tabs, I'll just close the ones that I don't need. Yeah. So this is stars picture. Don't forget to unlock the layer, convert it to normal layer, and using the move tool, move the image towards your canvas over here. Yeah. Now this, you can see, this is basically for adding stars. Now, obviously, we don't want the stars to come like this, right? You can see there's a clear distinction. These two look like separate images. So, and also you see there's no fading effect over here. You see it's like two complete separate pictures. In order to achieve some fading effect over here, we'll use the gradient tool. So click on the gradient tool and change the foreground to black and remain the background color be white. You see these two squares over here? So you have to check if the foreground is black and the background is white, and then you're good to go. So as I showed earlier, there were a lot of gradient options that were there. So we'll go to basics and we'll go to one which says from foreground to transparent. You see, it's changing to transparent. So just click on this and you see the cursor has changed. Now we'll draw a small line over here. Oh, I'm sorry. One second. I don't know why it's not working at the moment. So basically, once you draw a line over here, you'll see that the fading effect appears. So in order to do that, just remember that the foreground should be black, the background should be white, and change your basic gradient option from black to transparent. You can see foreground to transparent over here. So once you do that and you draw a small line, a fading effect will appear. Right now it's not coming. All right, let's continue. So what you can do is once that fading effect has been achieved, you can just click on this option. You see there's a menu over here which says normal. Once you click on that, there are a lot of options that are available. All right, this is basically called the blending option. This changes the effect of the picture on the background. So the one that we are going to select is called lighten. So once you select lighten, you can see only the stars, and it's kind of matching and going with the background. You see, before the stars were like two separate pictures. Now it looks like the stars were there actually in the background. If you want to see the difference, you see this eye option over here. So this is basically to check that the layer will be present. It won't get removed, but you can see the difference. It will change the visibility of that particular layer. So you see, with the stars and without the stars, you can see the difference in the picture. Now, one other thing that we can do is add a moon to our picture. So just click on open, click on moon, and again, don't forget to unlock it. And let's move it towards a canvas over here. Yes. Again, we have to resize it. So just click on edit, click on transform, click on scale, and let's make it a little small. It looks realistic. Okay, again you see that the picture, the moon's picture and the background, they look like completely two separate things. So again, we're going to use the blending option that is over here. You can change it to any option that you feel, but the best thing that I saw was that this option called screen over here. You see, now it looks like the moon was actually there with the background, right? You can scale it and place it according to your wish. And there you go. This is the picture of the silhouette effect. Now, one more thing that you can do to make your background a little more different is that, again, click on this option where we have the levels option, but instead of levels, just click on hue and saturation. Now this, again, what it does, it changes the hue and saturation. Now again, don't forget to click on this clip on, because if you don't click on this clip on, what happens is the hue and saturation of the complete image will change, but that's not what we want, right? We want to change it only for the sky. So just select the sky layer, and then from this option over here, click on hue and saturation, and you can change the hue and saturation that way, right? You can change it, you can make it like this and make it this way, any way you wish. I will just go with this. Now, these I know are very small edits, but you know the ones, the graphic designers who are very particular of these small edits. So that we have just added just two layers over here. Now, if you see actual designers, they add a lot of layers. They play with all these options over here: the levels, the curves, the brightness and contrast, everything. So you can also change it that way. And that's it. We are done. Now, this is the silhouette effect. So, does anybody have any doubts? Any of the members, can you please confirm?
No No, dude. Like some time ago, Abu asked, like, is there option for 3D text? Except that, nothing
Okay.
for now.
So actually, we have passed that. I'll surely try to explain it towards the end. Alright, so this is the silhouette effect. Alright, now once you're done, you have to obviously save it, right? So click on File, click on Save As, save it on your computer over here. Now, what happens is you have it gets saved in a particular extension, which is the .psd. That is a extension for Photoshop file. Now, you can change this extension to any one that you wish. Now, the best ones are JPG and PNG. That is over here. These two are the most used. What do you say, extensions for saving photos. But if you want to save this particular Photoshop file, then just click on this, rename your folder, rename the file. I'll just rename it like this. And that's it, you're done. Save. Just click on OK. And now this particular this particular image is now being saved in a PSD file. Now to save it in JPG file, click on Save Your Computer again, change the extension, change it to this. Now you see, once you change the extension, you see all these pictures are actually in JPEG format. Right now, again, these appear. Just click on Save, click on OK, and now this particular image will be saved in JPG. And once you open your Windows Explorer, you will be able to see that. Now you have to go to the picture. Yes, here it is. So this is the silhouette effect. Now, can you actually imagine that we had used all these pictures over here in order to create this effect? This is known as the silhouette effect. Alright, let's move on to the next the next photo editing effect. Let me close all of this. Alright. Now again, let's open a new canvas. Now let's change the width and height to let's make the width 615 and height to 400. Yeah. Now this is not compulsory width and height. You can obviously change it according to your convenience. Yeah. So the next effect that we'll be seeing is the double exposure effect. So in order to show what exactly double exposure effect is, so this is actually the double exposure effect. You must have seen this in a lot of posters, right? You see that the subject of the picture along with another picture is actually visible in that. Let me just click on this. You see the face as well as the picture of the city is there. And now this is the kind of effect we'll be doing on Photoshop. I hope you're all excited. So let's go back to Photoshop and open the files that we need. Now again in the drive link, I have shared a folder which says double exposure effect. Just click on that and you can see that there are 3 photos, and yes, this effect is not that hard as the silhouette effect. They're actually comparatively easier. So just click on the subject. Now I'm not really happy with the background. It's completely plain, and let's change the background a little bit. So in order to that, I have to make the selection of the model in particular. Now, what you can do is use the quick selection tool that is there over here and select the model. I'm sorry, one second. Yes. So once you use the quick selection tool, the particular model has been selected. Now just click on add a mask and you see that the model has now been separated from the background. Now one other thing that you can do is, you suppose you're still not so used to the quick selection tool. One more handy tool that you can see here is the magic erase tool. So just click on the background and there you go. The background has now disappeared. Now, again, like I told you, the AI for this is not exactly efficient. So, again, the background and the subject of the model have to be highly contrasting to each other so that the AI can easily distinguish between it. Now, if suppose you really want to move backgrounds, and some selections are very hard to do. In the dive link itself, I have shared in that important files document. You see, I have shared a link in order to remove the background. Now, this particular website, you can upload your picture and remove the background the way you want. All right. Yeah, let's get back to this. Now, use the move tool and select this particular subject of the picture and move it to your canvas. Now, let's place it somewhere here. Yeah. So yeah, this is where we'll be placing the subject of the picture. Now let's add a background to this. So just click on File, click on Open, click on Background over here that I've saved. I've shared it in the Drive link. Now using the Move tool again, move the don't forget to convert it to a normal layer. Again, it will otherwise show this pop-up window. Convert to normal layer. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Just click on this, convert it to normal layer and move it towards the canvas over here. Alright. Now again you can resize it. Just click on edit, click on transform, click on scale and make it fit to our now yeah this is what we want. Yeah. Now you can say that the background is coming on top of the subject. Now that's not what we want, right? So what you can do is you click on this layer over here and move it below. Now you see that the background has now appeared below the subject of the picture, and this is where you play with the layers of the photo, right? If suppose you want the background to come on top of it or below it, this is what will make the difference. And this is also very important where exactly your layer is coming. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to apply the double exposure effect on this. So the photo that I had selected for applying the double exposure effect on this is this one. Yeah. So convert it to normal layer, use the move tool and move it towards your canvas over here. Yeah. Again, you see that the photo is coming below it, so just place it on top of it. Yes. Now this photo has now come on top of the subject of the picture and the background. Now what we want to do is we want the double exposure to come on top of the model, right? But we're not sure exactly where it will come, the position of it. So what you can do is just select this layer over here and change its opacity to this, say 50 or anything according to your wish. All right. So once you do this, you'll be able to see the background, the model, as well as the picture, the effect. Now move the picture according to where you want the effect to come. All right. Now, yeah, this looks good. So this is the place where I'll be applying the effect, the double exposure effect on the model. Now you can place it anywhere you want. It's not compulsory. You have to place it this way. All right. Once you're happy with the position, just change back its opacity. Yeah, and be careful that you might not be able to change its position again and again. So once you're satisfied and completely sure of it, just change back its opacity. All right. So now this is the place where the photo is placed on top of the model and the layer, the background layer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a mask. We're going to make a proper selection of only the model alone with this effect. So just press Control, the Control key on your keyboard and select this layer. You see, the particular model has now been selected with the effect that is coming, the effect that we're going to apply, right? You can see this, right? The black and white line that appears, that means you have made a selection, and this selection has now come in the shape of the model but you see that the effect picture is there on top of it. Now just click on add a mask. Now you see the remaining part has now disappeared, and only the part where the photo, the effect, and where the model was there, that particular place is only being left. Now what you can do is you have to create a duplicate of this layer over here, the model layer. Now there are two ways. You can either press Ctrl plus J on your keyboard in order to create a duplicate layer, but as I'm showing it on screen, I just right click on it, and you see there's an option called duplicate layer over here. Click on this, click on OK, and a duplicate of that layer has been created. Now it is the exact same, there's no change in it. Now you can rename the layer as you wish, and what you have to do is you have to push it on top of the effect. Alright, you see, again we have come back to the same place, but that's not what we want. We're going to change the blending option of it now. Now again, there are a lot of options available. Alright, the best suited what I found was the soft light. Now you see, now we have somewhat achieved the double exposure effect. You can see the model as well as the effect picture that was there, right? But some features of the face are still not clearly visible. Alright, in order to do that, we'll use the brush tool that is there over here. Select the brush tool, alright. Click on this. Now you see that I had clicked on this particular mask layer, okay? So don't forget to click on this. Do not click on any other layer, because if you do that, that particular brush effect tool will not come, okay? It will come as dark gray spots like I had showed earlier while I was explaining the brush tool. So just click on it. You can change the size of the brush tool. Right now it's very big, and you can change this. Alright, make it a little small here. And also don't forget to change its opacity. Alright, the default opacity is actually 100, but if you do 100, you see once you apply the brush tool on it, it will become too significant, and the effect will slowly start to fade away. It won't look like the double exposure effect. So don't forget to change its opacity. That's over here. You can either use this arrow key, left, right, or you can use the slide arrow. Then you can change it to say, let's say 40. Alright, so once you do that, you see, now once I start clicking, you see the features of the face is slowly starting to appear clearly now. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly start to make it clear. You see, the effect is not exactly going, but you can see the features of the face clearly now, and that's kind of what we want. Do this. Alright, you can change it according to your wish. You can do this editing in any way you want, right? Alright, yeah, there you go. Alright, so once you're satisfied with the brush tool and all the editing that you have done, alright, so suppose you want to make the hand also a little more, yeah. So once you're satisfied with the double exposure effect, alright, you can save it. Yeah, and this is what we call the double exposure effect, where you can see the model's face as well as the effect. So this is it, this is pretty much it. So right now, I'll just close the remaining tabs. Yeah, so this is the double exposure effect. Again, you can save it the way you want. Just click on save as, save on computer, and again it will get saved as a PSD file. You can again change it. So first, it's better to save it in a PSD file first, so you know you have that file with you in your hand. And I'll just rename this file to double exposure effect. Click save or OK, and that's it. The double exposure effect has now been saved. So once you open this, you can see this PSD file appears. Now let's save it as JPG file also. Click on save as, save on computer. and change the extension of the file to JPG or PNG. It's really your wish. And click on save. Click on OK. And now you see that particular picture has now been saved. See, these kind of photos are look really cool, and you must have seen this in a lot of movie posters, and even the previous one you might have seen on Instagram a lot, right? Some of it looks really realistic. That means the editing is great. So yeah, so this is how the double exposure is. So does anybody have any doubt? Can any of the members confirm?
No doubt as of now.
Okay, okay, all right. So, any of the pending doubts that were there? I remember one about the text tool. Can
Yeah, the 3D text guy asked.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just do that now. Open a new canvas. I'm sorry. I personally still haven't used the 3D text tool as of now, actually. All right, so move it. Again, let's change the size of it so it's completely visible. Somewhere here, yeah. Now there's this 3D option that's there. Um, I have personally not used this option until now, so even I'm exactly not sure how exactly to work with it, but surely you can explore it. Now, if you really want to work with the 3D, like I showed, just select the text and click on 3D option. And if you know how to work with these, you can surely work with it. I hope the doubt is cleared. I know it's not, but sorry. Any other doubts? Any other pending doubts that were there? Any of the members can confirm?
No pending doubts as of now.
All right, great. So, with this, I would like to conclude the event. Thank you all for joining. And also, we'll be sharing a feedback form. So, please do fill that. Let us know your thoughts and views about the event and the ways in which we can improve. So please do share. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for joining.
Hey Janvi. Hey, amazing event, Janvi.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hope you all
So, guys,
enjoyed.
I've enabled your. You can actually use your mic.
So
Can you
now
hear
you
that?
can enable. So he has enabled the option where you can unmute yourselves. You can unmute and speak. Anybody wants to speak? Alright, then we'll be sharing a feedback form. Please do share your views in that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, the voice is not clear. Can you repeat? Is there anyone who wants to say anything? If not, then we can conclude the event over here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Uh, every- okay, everyone has been unmuted and has given the permission to talk. So if you have any doubts, like Jhanvi will clarify you, or yeah, we can finish this.
If any, like after this also you have any doubts, you can DM me personally. You can ask anything that you would like to know. Any other effect that you want to know, I can share the YouTube links for it. And also in the drive link, in that important links document, I have also shared links for downloading even more like more graphic resources. So there is a link for free Pixabay and Pixels. So there also you can get a lot of graphic resources to download. And also there's a link to remove the background as well.